Grace and peace. Shalom to everybody. Your brother Yehuda coming with another quick presentation of the history of the Black Jew or the Black Hebrews. So let's start here at page on page 1014. This book here has over 1,000 pages. So on page 1014 it reads, let's blow it up. It says the siege of Lachish was the Neo-Assyrian Empire's siege and conquest of the town of Lachish in 701 BC. So the siege, it says, took place of Lachish in 701 BC. 701 BC. So with that being said of 701 BC, let's go to the next page. The next page, 1015, you can see the Assyrian soldier, and he's cutting off the head of a Assyrian, right? You can clearly see it. Page 1015. So now I'm going to page 1016. Let's blow it up to read and see what it says here. The first report on the Lachish skulls included a thorough examination, pathology, matrix, artificial deformation, and epigenetic affinity. It says utilizing craniometrics. But let's jump down to right here near the bottom of the first paragraph. It says here. It says he concluded that the group was fairly heterogeneous, having close relationships in North African, Egyptian, and Nubian groups. He said that the Hebrews had close relationships to the North African, Egyptian, and Nubian groups, which makes sense because Ephraim and Manasseh's mother was a Egyptian, a Hamite Egyptian. So this makes a lot of sense. And then it reads, thus lending support to a Egypto-Nubian presence in the Hebrew. Okay? A Egypto-Nubian presence. So just showing everybody that the Jews was always compared throughout history to look like the Egyptians and to look like the Nubians and to look like the Cushites. The Cushites. Next page. Let's go to the next page. You see right here also it says the first report on the Lachish skulls included a thorough examination, pathology, matrix, etc. Okay, so I blew it up so you can see. Let me read this part again. It says he concluded that the group was fairly heterogeneous, having close relationships to North African, Egyptian, and Nubian groups, thus lending support to an Egypto-Nubian presence. Okay, so just showing everybody that the Jews had a Egypto, meaning Egyptians, Nubian presence, which makes sense because, as I said before, Ephraim and Manasseh's mother, she was a Hamite Egyptian. Okay, that's why the Jews also has been compared to look like Egyptians and Ethiopians. Let's go to the next page. Okay, so this is a close-up of this Lachish Jew or Hebrew getting his head chopped off by an Egyptian soldier. Okay, but you can clearly see as I blow it up, his Negro phenotype as a black man. Okay, a black man. Next page. And this book here is called The Law, What I Have Seen and What I Have Heard and What I Have Known by Cyrus J. Cyrus J. This is a depiction of Cyrus J on the right side. So now let's go inside this old source title one more time. The Law, What I Have Learned, What I Have Seen, What I Have Heard, and What I Have Known. It says it dates back from the 1800s through 1926. So let's go inside to see what it says. Okay, so this is a copy of the book right here. Let's go inside and read and see what it says. And this is on page 118, I think it says. So let's blow it up right here to see what it says. It says Sir John Sylvester was the son of a Jewish or Portuguese physician and obtained practice by a constant attendance at all the petty courts of the metropolis. He was exceedingly dark in his complexion. So he said that this Jew, Sir John Sylvester, was exceedingly dark in his complexion, and thus obtained the cognomen of Black Jack. So they gave this Jew, Sylvester, John Sylvester, a nickname Black Jack, because he was a very dark-skinned man. He was so dark that they called him Black Jack. Next page. Moses Maimonides. Now, who was Moses Maimonides? AKA Rambam. He was an early century black Jew. Moses Maimonides. In fact, when you go inside the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, Dr. Rudolph Windsor actually spoke of Moses Maimonides, the black Jew. And this is an image of him right here as a black man. Okay? And all the white Jews you see today, they reference Moses Maimonides. But when you go inside the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, Rudolph Windsor actually speaks about Moses Maimonides. So let's go inside the book right here. Let's see what he says. He says, and this is Rudolph Windsor. He said, Moses Maimonides was the outstanding black Jew, okay, during the Middle Ages. He is known as Rambam. Okay, that's his nickname. Okay, or Rabbeinu Moshe ben Maimon. Moses was born in Cordova on March the 30th, 1135 AD, the eve of the Passover. His father, Maimon, was an offspring of a great family of scholars and religious leaders. His family tree has been traced to Rabbi Judah, the prince. It says the composer of the Mishnah. So Rabbi Judah, this guy named Rabbi Judah, the prince, was supposedly the composer of the Jewish Mishnah to the royal house of David. Okay, the royal house of David. Maimonides. And this is a close-up of Maimonides. He was a black man. As Rudolph Windsor wrote, he was a black man. Okay, this is another image of him. his profile as a black man with very Semitic features. Okay, this brother, Maimonides Ramban had very black Semitic features. Okay, not all black people have broad noses. Okay, black people have Semitic noses, kind of straight, flat noses like Bill Cosby, wide noses. The Negro come in all shapes. So don't think for 1 second that all black people have the same nose shape. No, we do not. Maimonides' Semitic features, as you can see, but he was a brother. He was a black man. Got a nose kind of like Scottie Pippen. He was a black man. And Rudolph Windsor wrote about Maimonides. Okay, he called him the outstanding black Jew. The outstanding black Jew. In fact, let's go back and read it one more time. He says here, Moses Maimonides was the outstanding black Jew. Okay, and this is inside the book From Babylon to Timbuktu. Let's go to the next page, 1030. The next page, another book, it says the Pennsylvania State University, or from the Pennsylvania State University Libraries. It says a tribute for the Negro being a vindication of the moral intellectual. One more time. The tribute for the Negro being the vindication of the moral intellectual. Let's go inside this book to see what it says. It says a tribute for the Negro being a vindication of the moral intellectual and religious capabilities of the colored portion of mankind, with particular reference to the African race. So let's go inside and see what it says, okay? Let's blow it up. It says right here, and you can see I have highlighted, it says a remarkable fact in the history of Luongo, which is in Africa, in the Empire of Congo, in that the country, according to the statement, which was fully credited by Odin Dorp, himself a writer of, it says, of most correct judgment and of unimpeachable veracity, contains many Jews settled in it. Many Jews settled in it. Okay, meaning in Luongo, in the Congo, Africa. Many Jews settled in it. Just proving and giving more factual history, lining up with the Bible, like in the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 10, when it says clearly that the Jews or the Hebrews within all the tribes is beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. The next page. African hairstyles. Okay? African hairstyles. It is a fact that braids originated through the African people. The Hebrew Israelites are African people. In fact, we are the African Hebrew Israelites because Africa is that whole continent or region of what we call the Middle East today. We are the African Hebrew Israelite. So the African hairstyles originated in Africa. Keep that in mind as we continue. Look what it says here. Dealing with braids. The history of braids, right? Let's dive into the history of braids. It says here, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name. Schwarzkopf, celebrity hairstylist Larry Sims. It says, who has worked with the likes of Gabrielle Union, the actress, Tracy Ellis Ross, etc. It says here, traces the origins of braids back to African culture. Okay, so braids originate out of Africa. Braids have been, it says, impressionable throughout history, says Sims. The origin of braids can be traced back 5,000 years in African culture to 3,500 BC. They were very popular among women. Very popular among women. So we know that braids come through or originate out of Africa, correct? Braiding started in Africa with the Himba people of Nambia, etc. Right? But I'm just showing everybody that braids originated through Africa. Okay, it is an African culture. Braids is an African culture. So with that being said, why I'm bringing out the part about braids being an African culture, it says cornrow hairstyles in Africa also cover a wide social terrain. Religion, kinship, status, age, racial diversity, and other attributes of identity can all be expressed in hairstyle. Okay, talking about braids. Because the Jews were known for wearing braids. This is a fact. When you look at the artifacts of the Jews, they usually show the men with braids. Okay, this is supposed to be a Jew here, a black Hebrew, in Ethiopia. Okay, in Ethiopia, by the name of Tewodros II or Tewodros II, depicted in history of Ethiopia. He was a king of Ethiopia, but he was a Jew though. He was a black Jew. Okay, he was a Hebrew Israelite man in Ethiopia. Okay, because remember, the Bible says clearly that the Jews will be dwelling from India to Ethiopia. Okay, he was an Ethiopian king. He was a real Jew, a black Jew with braids. This is a depiction of him. This is a depiction of him with braids. It reads here in the book of Judith, chapter 10, verse 3. And pulled off the sackcloth, talking about Judith, and she pulled off the sackcloth which she had on, and put off the garments of her widowhood, and washed her body all over with water, and anointed herself with precious ointment, and braided her, it says, and braided the hair of her head. So Judith was a black Hebrew woman, and it says that she braided the hair of her head, and put on a tire upon it, and put on her garments of gladness. It says, wherewith she was clad during the life of Manasseh, her husband. Or Manasseh, her husband. So it says here that Judith, she braided her hair. Why? Because she was a black woman. Remember, I just read that the braids go all way back, thousands of years back in African culture. And the Hebrews are African. We are African people. We are the African Hebrew Israelites. Okay, that is the African culture. Okay, the Hebrews became a people through mixing with Africans. Fast, like the Egyptians. The Egyptians are Africans, so-called Africans. Okay, so Judith was an African Hebrew black woman. She was an African Israelite woman, and she wore braids. She wore braids. Like these brothers here depicted as the Northern Kingdom Jews, they both had what? Braids. Because why? Braids is an African culture. It is an African tradition. It is an African Hebrew, also Hebrew Israelite tradition. That's how we know also that the Hebrews are black, because the depiction of them showed them as black, as dust, with black features and with braids. With braids, okay? And remember what it says, braids originated from African peoples. From African peoples. Okay? Another brother getting his head chopped off. And what he has? Braids. He has braids. Okay, another brother of Hebrew origin getting his head chopped off. You can see the fringes. Look at his fringes. He's getting his head chopped off. And he's wearing a headband, as mentioned also in the Bible. A black man. The Jews were black and are black today as we speak. Now let's look at this image here on page 1071. Okay, you can see the image of a Hebrew figurine statue located in Egypt of a black Jew slave tied up on the left side, and on the right side you can see the head image of a terracotta head of a black man, a black Jew, a black Israelite man. Okay, so this is the head of a black Jew on the right, and a statuette. So this is the head of a black Jew on the right, and on the left a black Jew statuette slave. Okay, the terracotta head of a Semite, marked Hebrew. Okay, marked Hebrew. And this is a close-up right here. The head of a Semite Hebrew. It says marked Hebrew. Of a black man. A black Hebrew Israelite. Next, on page 1074. It says the terracotta head marked Hebrew. Okay. It says at the Petrie Museum of Egyptian Archaeology. Okay, at the Egyptian Museum of Archaeology. Let's deal with the next one here. Again, it says terracotta head marked Hebrew, another Hebrew. So this is the second Hebrew head or clay head at the Museum of Egypt for archaeology. You have this head right here, a black man, and this head right here, a black man. Okay, both marked Hebrew. And this is a close-up right here. You can see his kinky hair, woolly hair, etc. You can see his Negro features, etc. Okay, has a beard. But this is also a Hebrew man right here. The next image on page 1077. This is a actual photo or a early vintage image or photo of two black Jews in the so-called Middle East. Okay, they're called Judeans. So you're looking at two black Jews that's still dwelling in that region of the so-called Middle East. Next, same thing. Another vintage image of a black Jew, a Hebrew Israelite man, still dwelling in that region of what we call Palestine today. Okay, it's a remnant. It is a remnant of real black Jews that's still dwelling in that region as we speak, just as mentioned in the Bible. And you can see on his shoulders, he has his prayer shawl. You see it? This is a close-up of him right here. A black Jew still dwelling in that region as we speak. Okay? And he has on his prayer shawl over his shoulders. Next image, page 1079, same thing. A rare photo of a black Jew dwelling in Palestine, because it is still a remnant of black Jews in that region dwelling in Palestine. This is an old rare photo. Another rare photo of two black Hebrew women in the region of what we call Palestine today. Two black women of Hebrew descent. Notice the jewelry, etc. Two black Hebrew women. See? 2 black Hebrew native women still dwelling or was dwelling in that region, because this is a rare photo, a old photo. On page 1033, another black Jew, a rare photo of a black Jew in that region, what we call the Middle East today. Another rare photo of a black Jew. Early photo, because why? The Jews, the Hebrew Israelites are black. We are black. We never did a metamorphosis. Okay, so this is another rare photo of a black man, a black Jew. Let's go to the next. This is page 1084. And in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verses 9 through 12, it talks about, it says, and I put a ring on your nose. God says, I put a ring on your nose, earrings on your ears, and a beautiful crown on your head. Page 1085. Black Moroccan Jews. So this is the image you're looking at on the left side as I blow it up, of black Moroccan Jews. And this is also an old rare photo. This is a rare photo of black Moroccan Jews. Black Moroccan Jews. Same thing. And you can see what she has on, folks. She has on the earring. This is a black woman of a Hebrew descent from Morocco. She has the nose ring, just as it says in Ezekiel. Ezekiel 16, 9 and 12. She has the nose ring, the earrings, the jewelry. The earrings, the jewelry, the hair wrap. This is a Hebrew woman, folks. This is how our ancestors dressed. And because even in this early rare photo, like in the early 1900s and the late 1800s, they still had the traditional dress, the way our ancestors dressed. In fact, you can go to Africa today and still see these people dressing the way our ancestors dressed. Okay, that's a fact. Another image of a Morocco Hebrew woman with earrings, etc. Another image, look, just like any sister you will see in the Western Hemisphere today. And this is also a rare photo. Another woman of a black Hebrew descent in West Africa. Another woman of Moroccan descent. Okay? Covered up. Notice she's covered up. She has the jewelry on, etc. Look just like any black woman you see in America today and the Caribbeans today. Look like any black woman you see in your family today. Another image of black Jews in that region. A man and his wife. And they still had the traditional dress. Let's move on. Black Jews above the Euphrates. This is a rare photo, another rare photo of black Jews dwelling above the Euphrates. Because there's still a remnant of black Jews dwelling above the Euphrates. Because all the Jews did not leave from above the Euphrates. So this is a rare image of black Jews dwelling above the Euphrates. And you see the brother right here? You see this brother right here? Look at the brother on the left side. Look at the traditional dress. Look at the brother with the prayer shawl right here, the prayer shawl right in the back here, wrapped around his shoulders. Okay, what you're looking at now is Rabbi Raphael Dabush of Libya. And he was a prominent rabbi in Libya. Okay, he was born in 1864. And he died in 1926. In fact, my grandmother, who passed away some years ago at the age of 83, was born in 1923. 1923. So my grandmother was born about 3 years before he died. Either way, this is Rabbi Raphael, a black man. He was a prominent black rabbi. And this is a close-up of him right here. You see, a lot of our people don't know about these prominent rabbis or black rabbis, as Rudolph Windsor called Maimonides. He said he was the outstanding black Jew. But either way, this is another black rabbi, a popular rabbi of Libya. Now, this is Uri bin Baruch. Uri bin Baruch. Uri bin Baruch was born in 1898. Died in 1984, December the 21st, but born in 1898. And he was also a popular rabbi. He was also considered to be a priest among the Jews of Ethiopia. Because as the scriptures say, the Hebrews within all the tribes also went and dwelt in Ethiopia and are still dwelling in Ethiopia as we speak. But either way, this is Uri bin Baruch, another popular, prominent black Jew, black Hebrew Israelite. And many white Jews also know about these prominent black Hebrews that I'm showing you right here. Okay. Now you're looking at another close-up of a Judean Hebrew Israelite that was taken into captivity, showing him, as we all know, black. So, with that being said, until next time, grace and peace. Shalom.